Welcome to yoga. We are going to flow today in a very gentle manner. Let's just get started from an easy seat. Find a pillow to sit on. Place the hands on the knees, either palms down or palms up. Palms down is a more restorative, like I am at home in my own body feel. Palms up is a more like I am creative, let me receive all of the good vibes and good energy from the world. So whatever feels right to you, go ahead and find that position. And we'll begin with some easy breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Taking a nice deep inhale, feeling yourself rise all the way up towards the ceiling. Exhaling audibly out, allowing the arms and shoulders to relax down. Inhaling again through the nose, holding briefly at the top. Exhaling all the way out. Great, deep inhale in. Exhale it all the way out. Bring one hand to your chest, one hand to your belly. Take another deep breath in through the nose. All the way out. Last one. Inhale in. Exhaling it all the way out. We'll begin bringing the arms all the way up overhead, reaching out towards the ceiling, and gently sending those fingertips back towards the back of the room. Gentle curve in the spine. Chest is opening out. Exhale, bend the arms at the elbows, pull them down into a goalpost. At the same time, pushing your elbows back to the back of the room. Fingertips are spread wide. Good. Exhale, bring that all the way down. Inhale, arms come all the way up. Left arm reaches now to the knee, opposite knee. Bring the other hand to meet it. So you're rounding in the top of the back, top of the shoulders here, and you're pressing into that opposite knee. Release, inhale, both arms all the way up. Exhale, now the right arm reaches to the left knee, and the other hand comes to meet it. Cap, like have your hands be a cap on that knee. And round the shoulders. Nice stretch right in here. Good, we'll come out from that, removing the pillow. And we will find a tabletop position. So check in with your form here, bring the fists together and place them between your knees. You're approximately hip distance apart by doing that. Place the hands on the mat about shoulder distance apart, which is really like the same thing, approximately. Untuck the toes and we'll cycle through cat-cow. Coming back to table, getting out of cat-cow, find some additional movements that bring space to your body. I am doing these like little C-curve moves to bring some stretch down my sides. You can do whatever feels good to you. Another one that feels really good is to spin the fingers towards the back of the room and gently rock forward and back. And do some neck circles, clockwise. and counterclockwise. You don't have to be following along with me exactly right here. Just do whatever feels good to you naturally. And then we'll return to table here, finding stillness. Inhale, walk the hands towards the front of the mat, send the chest forward, roll the shoulders back, and rise up into a cobra position. Pressing into the mat with both hands, allowing the legs to relax onto the ground. And inhale, push back into a child's pose. Knees come wide, feet are together. Send the hips all the way down towards the heels. Hands are still at the top of the mat, walking the fingertips forward 1 more inch. Inhale, and then exhale, allow your forehead to rest down to the mat. Heart energetically drops down towards the mat. Hips sink towards the heels. Exhale. Inhale, rise all the way back up towards table, and now we'll walk the knees to the front of the mat. Hands now switch sides, and we'll come onto our seat. Feet are about hip distance apart, which means the knees are about hip distance apart. You always have that little trick with you if you're worried, am I sitting too wide or sitting too close? And place your hands on the mat with the fingertips towards the back of the room. So the toes are towards the front of the room, the fingertips are towards the back of the room. Knees are bent, roll the shoulders back. And we'll inhale, planting the feet into the mat, hips rise all the way up for an upward facing table. Head and neck are in the same line as the upper body. You're really pressing into those heels to help get lift in the hips. The weight in the palms is naturally providing a lot of stability, a lot of weight bearing. Squeeze your bottom to get more lift in the hips. Exhale, come all the way down. We'll straighten both legs out in front of us. Inhale, arms come all the way up, so we're in that shape of a letter L. So naturally we're probably a little bit like lean back. Engage your core and really sit on the tops of your hips, of your sits bones. And then just encourage yourself to really sit up straight. It's not going to be that comfortable, but it's going to feel powerful. And reach up towards the ceiling. Toes are also up towards the ceiling. Sending energy through your legs and out your heels. And through your arms and up through your fingertips. Your hips, that's the meeting point. That's where all the energy starts. You feel the heat building in your core, feel the heat building in your thighs. Exhale, release all of that and soften. We'll bring the right leg up, bending it and crossing it over the straightened left leg. Sit up straight and tall, interlace the fingers just below the knee. Take a great big inhale, and then we'll twist in the direction of the right leg. So you can place your hands on top of your knee for a little bit of torque. You can also place your other hand on the ground for a little bit of torque also. It's not so much here about how deep the spin is. It's just more about being straight and tall and then corkscrewing yourself around as much as is comfortable to you. And then the neck can follow as well without craning the neck. Allow it to follow in the direction that you're spinning, that you're twisting. Next, exhale, unwind, untwist. And we will find the same thing on the opposite side. So now the left leg comes all the way up, bends, and crosses over the straightened right leg. We'll sit up straight and tall, interlacing the fingers just below the knee, helping to provide a little bit of extra support. Take a nice deep inhale, and then we'll gently twist in the direction of that left hip. Again, placing the hand on the knee for a little bit of support, helping keep your chest up. Placing the other hand on the mat, and then allowing your gaze to follow in the direction that you're twisting. So just for a little cue on weight distribution, this hand is basically, it's touching the mat, it's resting on the mat, but it might as well be floating on the mat. You could probably slip a piece of paper under it if you wanted to. So I'm just kind of placing this hand here, and then this arm is fired up. The arm that's around the knee, it's fired up, and it's helping to provide support for my upper body so that I'm not rounding. I'm really working on having a nice straight back. And then looking in the direction that my energy is going. Exhale, untwist here. Uncross the other leg and just shake them out. And then bend the knees, bring the feet up, and we'll just drop the knees to each side. And then we'll come again forward here, first in a table position. So returning to table, tucking the toes. Inhaling and pushing into the mat as our bottom rises and we come up into a downward facing dog. Allow the neck to relax. And pedal out the legs here, bending the knees, allowing the heels to rise up as much as they need to. If you're feeling any pressure in your wrists here, push back even further. So you want this angle to be as soft and as wide as possible. You really don't want to be over top of your wrists here. You want to push back. Fingertips are nice and wide. You're pushing into the mat with all 5 fingers on each hand. Good. Inhale, right leg comes all the way up towards the ceiling. Send it through for a low lunge. So the knee drops down, chest rises, and then interlacing the fingers on the knee. The toes of the back leg are untucked. And you can lean forward. You want the knee to be over top of the ankle here. You don't want the knee in front of the ankle if you can help it. Good, exhale, come into splits prep here. Toes up towards the ceiling. If you're having difficulty coming all the way down here, find something to rest a hand on. Or bring your hands to your hips and then hinge forward as you're able to. Or maybe even place one hand on the ground and allow your upper body to be a little bit leaned forward. Good. Inhale, we'll come back to this low lunge, sending the right leg back to the left. Inhaling up into a downward facing dog. Deep inhale and exhale here. Left leg lifts all the way up towards the ceiling, sending it through for a low lunge on this opposite side, so the knee drops down again. Chest comes all the way up, and then we interlace the fingers on the knee. And check in. Here is the knee over top of the ankle. The toes for the back leg, are they untucked? It'll probably be more stable if you untuck the back foot. And then just as we did before, if you need more stability, reach for something, maybe pull a chair over, or you can even lean on the ground if you need to. Exhale and come into a splits prep, toes up towards the ceiling. So my fingers interlaced here, it's just above the knee, it's not on the knee. And I don't want to put any pressure on my knee. I don't want to sacrifice this precious joint. I want to keep it above, on my thigh, on my femur. That can handle my weight. Good, and coming forward into a low lunge, planting the hands, and then that front foot slides all the way back to the back, and then we'll rise up into a downward dog again. Good, we will, let's see. We will walk towards the front of the mat. So from down dog, walk towards the front of the mat. You're in a forward fold here. Feet about hip distance apart. Allow the neck to just hang. And we'll chill in this forward fold. Let the arms hang, let the neck hang. The legs have a slight bend in them because we're not trying to lock them. We want to have a slight bend for nice, strong balance here on both legs, both our tree trunks. And just hang here and chill. You can close your eyes if you'd like. Practice balancing the weight in each foot evenly. So imagine that you have a rectangle, in like the shape of rectangle drawn on your feet. So you have one of the corners is just below your big toe, the other one's just below your pinky toe, and then in the back it's on the right and the left side of your heel, so that's your rectangle. And just practice throwing your weight into each one of those corners and then also keeping the weight evenly distributed on each of the four corners. You might notice that you start to rock or sway, that's okay. Now bring your hands up and interlace, or bring your hands up and reach for the opposite elbow. And encourage yourself to sway left and right. Good, gently release your arms, return back to center, and slowly rise all the way up through standing. Good, and forward fold all the way down. Plant the hands, step the feet back. We'll be in a plank pose here. Bend the elbows and slowly sink down in Chaturanga. All the way down to the mat, untucking the toes. So here we are, totally on our fronts. Extend the arms out into a T. Actually, bring the arms at your side, palms all the way up. Inhale and rise. So we have really just our hips on the ground and our stomach. Looking about 1 foot in front of you. Toes are pointed. Arms are up towards the ceiling. We're flying. Exhale, come all the way down. Bring your right ear down to the mat. Inhale and bring your left arm into a goalpost so it's bent at the elbow. And then we're going to bring our right arm near our shoulder so the elbow is bent. And we're going to push open for a really deep shoulder stretch. On your next inhale, come out of that stretch and we'll find the same thing on the opposite side. So bring the right arm now into a goalpost. So bent 90 degrees. Left arm the elbow is bent pretty good and you're placing that hand in the same line as your shoulder. And then inhale and open all the way up. Really deep shoulder stretch now on the right side. Exhale, come all the way down. So relaxing. All right, place both hands in the same line as your chest and slowly push yourself all the way up and we will meet in the seat. Cross the legs. Hey, bud. Fits. Sit. Good boy. Down. Good boy. Good boy. So we will bring the arms up overhead. Inhale. Arms up. Exhale. Right arm drops, left arm reaches. We are finding a stretch in the side body, so you're reaching for the part where the ceiling and the wall meet. At the same time, you're gently spinning your chest open, so you're really creating like this, I always think of a sunflower, like a sunflower reaching towards the sun. And then the other hand is just gently placed on the mat. It's more important here to do the action of reaching as opposed to leaning. We're really trying to reach here. I hear so many people say, oh, I should do yoga. Oh, I haven't done yoga, but I think I really should do yoga. I get so much joy out of yoga that I know it's not the same for everybody. If you don't want to do yoga, that's okay. Inhale, arms reach all the way up. Exhale, we'll find the same thing on the opposite side. Left arm drops, right arm reaches. So whenever I tell people I'm a yoga teacher, or I practice yoga, or whatever it may be, whenever I'm met with oh, I should do yoga, I just feel like, if you don't want to, then that's okay. Find your thing. This is my thing. I love the feeling of my body opening up. I love the feeling of using my breath to find just ways to feel more strong and just, I keep thinking of the word open up, but like expand. It's my thing. Inhale, both arms all the way up. And we'll exhale, we'll find a gentle seated twist, twisting over to the left side. Placing one hand around the knee, the other hand on the ground, allowing the neck to gently follow. Inhale, arms up. Same thing on the opposite side. Gentle twist. A couple years ago, I was working with a personal trainer to learn weightlifting, and she loved to lift. And she gets the same amount of joy out of lifting that I get out of yoga. And she's like, I could never do yoga. And I'm like, I would never lift if I didn't have the accountability of a trainer here. So I get it. Like, she loved the feeling of isolating her muscles and really feeling each and every one working. Whereas for me, I get the same amount of joy out of that movement. It's just in the form of yoga. Inhale, yep. And we'll meet on our backs now. So come all the way down, and we'll meet in Supta Baddha Konasana. So the feet come together, the knees are wide. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead and allow them just to rest, palms up towards the ceiling. Gently scanning the body here for any tightness and allowing it to release. Checking in with your breath, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Inhale, bring the arms up so that they can then come rest down at your sides, palms facing down, legs straighten as we set up for our final resting pose. I tuck my shoulders here in Shavasana. I kind of roll them back and tuck them under. And Shavasana. We'll slowly bring our awareness back to the room, keeping the eyes closed, not yet moving the body. We'll envision that from our ankles, from our hips, from our shoulders, and from the back of our head, we have these beautiful ribbons streaming down into the earth, going down, 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 all the way through the dirt, through the rocks, through the mantle of the earth, all the way down into the core. Grounding ourselves down into the earth, tapping into that molten center, a place of power, a place of stability, and allowing that energy to come all the way back up through those beautiful ribbons that are connected to the back of our head, back of our shoulders, our hips, and our heels, our ankles. At the same time, we're envisioning like a beautiful faucet is turning on above our heads, streaming down the most beautiful white light. White light with a watery consistency just coming down over top of our heads like this beautiful shower. Dripping down over the shoulders, and then working its way down the chest and back, the abdomen, hips, legs, knees, feet. Tapping into our creativity and inspiration. feeling grounded, yet also inviting in inspiration. And with that, we'll take one final deep breath in. Make it the deepest inhale you've taken all day, followed by the deepest exhale you've taken all day. Begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes, bending the arms at the elbows, rolling the ankles, bending the knees, sliding them up toward your bottom, rolling to one side of the mat, propping yourself up through seated. We'll meet in a comfortable seat. Thank you to Fitzy for joining us. And we'll bring the hands to heart center. Namaste.